Good afternoon. I'm Kemi Omololu Olunloyo, Madam KOO at HNN Africa on all social media. Today is Friday the 13th of July 2018, and I'm about to make a very serious address. If you see this video on the internet, move it around, pass it around so that it becomes super viral on social media. It is a video and an address that is going to really affect a certain amount of people, but when you look at the bigger picture, it'll also affect the whole of the country. It is a video that our leaders need to see. A lot of you out there don't take me serious. I care less. A lot of you are going to suffer. Many of you are going to suffer. You're going to die. You're going to be hungry. And you're going to have it to the worst ever in 2019. If we don't solve this problem, and this problem is called massive corruption. There is corruption in every facet in this Republic of Nigeria. In our federal republic, we have it everywhere. The health sector, the education sector, the power sector, name the sectors, there is corruption. I grew up in the United States of America. They don't have sectors or use sectors. They simply have governments, a local government, a state, and a federal government. They have different areas in their government where those areas are governed by the level of government in those countries. Our system of government in Nigeria boils down to executive, legislative, and judiciary, same as the United States. Some aspects of our government follow the British system. But I left this country when I was 14 going on 15, and I came back at 48 years old. But nothing has changed. I came to Nigeria in 2006. I left. I went to Canada. I came back in 2012 at 48. It's the same thing. We're going to look back from 2012 when I arrived in Nigeria. I would say finally, or maybe for some time, because I don't know if I'm leaving again. But it doesn't look like I'm leaving because I'm ready to fight everybody in this country. You see, I have been to prison 3 times, detained there in a country where a journalist gets a news tip about a pastor and they're not allowed to investigate it. Instead, they arrest the journalist and they dragged me right to Port Harcourt, straight to prison where the pastor is based. Now that case is over, it's gone. It's behind me now because what I got wasn't a 1-page letter that I posted looking for witnesses. It was an 8-page letter. Okay? Only that pastor could know who wrote it or who was behind it. At the end of the day, it is a lesson for everybody to remember that I sat down here and saw the prison and I saw a lot of things I was never supposed to see in the first place. So God took me to that prison. There is a lot of people walking up and down in Nigeria who need to be in prison, but they're not because they call themselves leaders. If they're not leaders, they're CEOs. They're running companies. They have contracts with the government and that's their own way of getting their money. Some of them are just government officials. Some are politicians. Some are in the civil service. But the notion in Nigeria is that it's the politicians that are stealing the money. That notion ends today, Friday the 13th. And if you know the legacy of Friday the 13th, it means bad luck. There's a lot of people dying in Nigeria. The other day was Sokoto, Zamfara, Adamawa. Sokoto has never had this kind of terrorism. But let me go to the point because I'm talking about Ibadan Electric, Eko Electric, and Ikeja Electric. 3 electric companies. The discos, who are supposed to be giving us electricity. Just 48 hours ago on the 11th, Minister Fashola, Tunde Fashola told the discos to provide us electricity or quit. Ibadan Electric has been cheating us. They have enslaved us, and it has to stop now. Whether you're Christian or Muslim, you need to listen. Tó bá jẹ́ gbàgbọ́ àbò jẹ́ Mùsùlùmí, mi ò kí nǹkan tó jẹ́. Tó bá sọ Yorùbá, tó gbọ́ Yorùbá, tó sọ English. Video tí mo ṣe, mo máa sọ ní English àti ní Yorùbá, nítorí mi ò lè repeat ẹ̀. Mo ní gbogbo evidence tí mo need láti sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ ní Nàìjíríà. Èmi Kẹ́mi Omololu Olunloyo. 400 years ni wọ́n fi enslave Israel. family tí bí mi sí is Muslim and Christian, even though mo sọ pé mo fẹ́ convert, mo fi yẹn wo religious tolerance àwọn èèyàn ni. Ẹni tó bá gbọ́n mọ̀ pé mo ti wà ní Muslim, mo dẹ̀ ti wà ní Christian láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ayé mi. Wọ́n á gbé mi lọ sí Port Harcourt sínú ẹ̀wọ̀n táwọn convicts wà nítorí Pentecostal pastor. Mo kàn fẹ́ fi hàn yín ní pé mi ò ṣe Christianity mọ́, bá máa sin Muslim lọ. But at the end of the day, Ọlọ́run kọ́ ni gbogbo wa ń sìn. Ẹ fi etí yín sílẹ̀ ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí ó wà nípa àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó fún wa níná. And the reason I'm doing this video is because everyone needs to know what's going on in the power sector. Minister in office power sector Bọ́lá Ìgè, wọ́n gbé kúrò ńbẹ̀, wọ́n gbé sáré lọ sí Attorney General. Wọ́n pa Governor Ọ̀yọ́ State ni. President Buhari ló fẹ́ interrogate Ọbásanjọ́ nípa owó kan, mi ò mọ owó náà, bí 16 billion ni, mi ò mọ exact amount, nítorí owó kan tó wà mí sí ní power sector. Oníkálukú ló ti rule ibì kan at one point or the other. Ẹ wá di president mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́, ẹ sọ pé ẹ lè interrogate or probe the past president. Èèyàn tó ń pè ní Dasuki tó ló pín owó kiri fún àwọn èèyàn fún election Jonathan. Wọ́n ti òun mọ́lé throughout the Buhari administration. Wọ́n ò fún ní right ẹ̀ láti gba bail. Whatever is happening in this country, it is time to speak out on it. And I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore because this video specifically applies to Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos State people. My voice is going, okay? I speak with an American accent. Some people say, even though I don't have an accent for myself, but I have a very loud voice. I speak almost 12 languages, and one of them is English and Pidgin English, which I learned in the prison. This video is already 7 minutes, and I don't want to waste people's data because I intend to do it as a 20-minute video. And when you're a trained broadcaster and you have a great voice, you have to do it accurately. It has been a long time that this has been coming up. I was ready to take up this matter, but I have not been able to because of my own problems. I have been sick. I'm going through PTSD. And if anybody knows what PTSD is, it's a flashback of a traumatic event you've gone through. I've had many traumatic events in my life. But now the prison is the most traumatic and is bringing out the old ones. I was struck by lightning on May 8th here. I was also struck by lightning in 2010 in Canada. I survived. My father calls me a cat with 9 lives. You will never walk alone. That is my father's quote. I never walked alone. But many of us have been enslaved everywhere in Nigeria. I'm trying to keep my tears because I'm not one to cry. You cannot continue to pray for Nigeria. You cannot continue to cry for Nigeria. But I am a very powerful woman. I am not talking about power in the government. I have no government power. Those of us with power don't have ideas. Those of us with ideas have no power. When I heard that phrase, I said to myself, here we are, the ones with the ideas, but no power. The ones in Abuja with the power have no ideas. I was about to take this problem a long time ago, but I'm coming to you today, Friday, the 13th of July, as a consumer, not an activist and not an investigative journalist. I have looked at those angles of the story, but I'm going to the media, the mainstream media, the bloggers, the magazines with this story, and they will interview me. If I have to have a news conference, I'll do that. But I'm coming as a consumer. I'm not coming as an activist. I'm not coming as a journalist, investigative, and I'm not coming as a governor's daughter. This story is being handled by 2 of us, my sister and I. My sister Funke Olunlayo was a former special advisor to the governor of Oyo State, Ajimobi, in his first administration, the one that ended in 2015. She was a special advisor in education, and most of you out there know Funke. She does not talk. She's very quiet. She's not like me. But on this one, we are together. So get your headlines ready. the governor's daughter are going to battle corruption at Ibdec. The war just begun. That was the last words I heard from my sister when she walked out of here this morning. We're launching a campaign. We're launching a war, a campaign, all-out war with Ibdec. Eco Electric and Ikeja Electric are their partners. These are the discos that when NEPA turned to PHCN and PHCN turned into privatized electricity, one politician in their 20s suggested that we privatize electricity from 1962. And Tafawa Balewa said no. That politician was our own father, Victor Malulu Olunloyo. When privatized electricity came to Nigeria, in form of these guys, we started getting more power. So the Jonathan administration, who initiated it, will say we gave power now. The Buhari administration too have said, yeah, we're giving you even more power. At what cost? At what cost? Look at the bills. Look at the prepaid meters. Look at what is going on around those. That is why I brought this broadcast to you. Now, the privatized electricity my father taught about that they now enacted almost 52 years later has failed us. The discos have failed us. Fashola has said they should give us electricity or quit. Ibadan Electric, the entire board, supervisors, suspended because of 5-point-something billion naira that was borrowed. For what? Now they owe this money. They have not been able to pay it. And the case has gone to court. One doctor sued. That one sued. This one sued. Complaints to the NERC. If you don't know the NERC, it's the Nigerian Electric Regulatory Commission. And that NERC has a case against Ibadan Electric, Ibdec, IBDEC. Ibdec is in court in Abuja. The judge just told them last week that the case will be postponed to October. I have never been to Abuja or set foot on there. It's the capital of my country. Unfortunately, I have not lived in the country a long time. But if that takes me to Abuja to the courtroom, so be it. Because we are not going to continue. I have no money. I raise money on the internet for my medical bills. Fundraisers upon fundraisers. People mock me, they laugh at me. I wanted to run for governor. I have no money to do that. They have not signed the independent bill because I don't like any political party. I simply won't join them. So if I don't run for governor or any office, as a matter of fact, I'm out there begging just to get my health together because of this disorder that's a mental disorder that can even drive you even more crazy. And if you know PTSD, there's a flight or fight syndrome involved. You fight or you flight, run away and forget it. I am not running away from corruption. There is a saying called, if you can't fight them, okay? If you can't beat them, join them. We're never going to join them. If we cannot beat them, we're going to continue fighting them. That's how it's said. That's why I don't believe in Proverbs. I haven't been to Abuja, like I said, and if this takes me there, I will be in that courtroom. We cannot continue to suffer under Ibdec. The judge wants to see the merits of the case to make sure that this case has some merit on the issue of suspending the board. Where is the 5.7 or 5 point whatever billion? Ibdec, I'm going to be very careful on how I use non-affirmative words here. I have enough evidence. Ibdec is not allegedly doing things. They are doing it. To make up for this money that's missing, that they borrowed, we are the victims that our bills are going to be raised high. We are the victims that they're going to sell prepaid meters to. I was ready to take this matter up anywhere. I was informed by too many people. It's now affecting all of us. Don't wait till death comes to your doorstep before you advocate for all the killings in Nigeria. Don't wait for corruption to come to your doorstep before you start advocating for people. But it has come to my doorstep and I can't stop anymore. I have been working on it. Now imagine how many people out there who don't even know how to go about this process that is so draining and tedious. I'm Kemi Amololu Olunlayo at HN Africa on every social media except two, YouTube I'm at HNN Africa TV. Subscribe. There are more videos coming. Subscribe. I'm going to have videos of Ibdec officials at my house who allowed us to videotape our conversation, but it got ugly and they had no idea what was going to come out. That video is raw. So subscribe to youtube.com/HNN Africa TV. Everywhere else, I'm at HNN Africa, except my personal Instagram, which I don't really use, but it's now open. It's usually private. I have 3,000 people there that I interact with, people I know. Loyal people, loyal fans. I put it as public now. So it could go from that 3,000 to 8,000 today alone. I just need more voices to speak and be with me on this one. So like I said, now imagine how many people out there who don't even know about this process and this draining, tedious thing. I learned that a lot of people have even paid as much as 40,000 to get the prepaid meter. Something that's supposed to be free. Prepaid meters are free. Repeat after me. Prepaid meters are free. They are free. You're not supposed to pay. Yesterday alone, people were telling me I paid 50,000, 37,000, 40,000. You are not supposed to pay. Since my sister Funke, who has been living in this house since 2004-05, we have 10 years to 12 years of NEPA bills and PHCN. We can show you. You will see it on the videos. Since she's been living in this house was built by my father for his children. We come here when we come from abroad. We all have our own rooms here. Upstairs where I am here, there's 11 rooms, and that's including 4 bathrooms. Some of the rooms in here, almost every room in here, up here on the balcony, no one's here. Not even a bulb in the bulb thing, because they're all abroad. They only stay in their rooms when they come. So I'm staying here up alone. Or my mom is staying up here with me. What are we using? 2 freezers. There's no light. No one's at home because we're all in school or work. We come back at night. We're in darkness. Darkness. We can't even do anything without electricity. People are paying for prepaid meters. Since my sister has been trying to get this prepaid meter for us since November 27, 2016, we have exhausted the 303 units that came with it, which is calculated to be 7,200. The meter that we have here. We are not going to bribe you. The only 140 units left to use, that's over 4 months now. Do you now see why people will never allow the dream of every home to have a prepaid meter become a reality? Everybody wants to build a house in Nigeria. They will say in Yoruba, "Ama bimolemo, ama kole mole." You want to build a house. It's not a dream in Nigeria because that electricity that's going to enter that house is going to be your biggest headache of even having that house. Because of such a development that would block holes where the electricity distribution, corrupt members of staff perpetrate their fraudulent activities and corruption from. So listen to me carefully, everybody. They are stealing from us. They know that they will be forced to give light, more light, in order to generate the revenue, and they will not be able to charge people outrageously as they are currently doing, and remitting the proceeds of their criminal activities into their pockets. Stand up and fight for what is your right, Nigeria. Ibadan people, you don't talk. You will talk to me on this one. I've said it, and I told my mentor, Charlie Boy, I never protest on Nigerian soil. After what happened with Siakson, when I went protesting all the way to election lawyer, and then the kids that were protesting with me told me that I ran when the DSS came out. I was the one in front of the DSS. Those kids did not know. I was taping the whole thing. I was the one in front of the DSS telling them we're protesting for somebody that's been detained. That's the reason why. Because some people in those protests, they're not honest. So I don't protest on Nigerian soil. I use my finger. A journalist says the pen is mightier than the sword. In my case, my finger is mightier than the sword. I was able to update everybody that the police surrounded my house on March 14, 2017 to arrest me because I had the finger and it worked fast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram Live. The police bosses were not happy. It was all over the punch and everywhere on their website by 9 a.m. after they took me. So the finger is mightier than the sword. You can threaten me. You can do all kinds of stuff. It does not work. Mi ò kí ń ṣọ́màlè, ọmọ akínni mi. Ọjọ́ gbogbo ń tó lè, ọjọ́ kan tó lóhun. Every day for the thief, one day for the owner. Ibdec, you listen to me. They're feeding electricity into my neighborhood now, and we don't have electricity in this house. I was woken up by my sister. The war has just begun. You've been doing it for a long time. BC Oyekule, open your ears. Nobody will hire you in any company in Nigeria because your name is out there. You come here to read the meter and you fake the numbers. Every time you come into my compound, you call somebody before you go to the meter. On this one, you didn't call anybody. You read the meter and you faked the numbers so that we can get a 17,000 naira bill. Our bill has been 8,000, 7,000, 9,000. When you did the 12,000, I was looking at all of you. You would take light overnight and you think we're not recording it. When I need the light, I would not run an Elopack generator at night overnight because of security issues. Somebody can come and grab it. Because of carbon monoxide, I can't put it in the garage. And of course, because of safety, if something happens with petrol. But that's when I need light. You'll give Kemi Omolulu Olunloyo at HNN Africa, July 13th, 2018. A lot of you have been hearing my video, and this is the final part. Stand up and fight for what is your right in Nigeria. Stand up. Prepaid meters are your right. It is free. Fight for it to the end. You're not supposed to pay that money. If you believe that your monthly electricity bill does not represent your consumption, make a case. We are making a case. If you're in Lagos, Ikeja Electricity Company and Eko Electricity Company. If you're in Ibadan, Ibdec, Ibadan Electric Company. I have paid our bill. We have paid our 17,000 naira bill. They're telling us all these different things. You're on the State House feed. We live near Government House. What is the State House feed? They are purposely not giving us electricity at night so that they can adjust it so we can have this low bill in July, which they've already calculated with the units that that girl came to read. BC Oyekunle said, I don't need anyone's permission to come in and read your meter. She always calls somebody, and this time she didn't. She came in May, June, she read the meter, and she faked the numbers, and we came up with 17,000 plus. So that the next one would be low, and they can spread the proceeds among all the customers and pay their debts. We know how it works. We know how numbers are fixed. If they fail you, contact NERC, which I am doing. Demand service. Demand what is your right. If you need to send an email, customercare@ikejaelectric.com. customercare@ekedp.com. That's Eko Electric. ekedp.com. Customer care. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. complaints@nerc.gov.ng. That's the NERC zone. complaints@nerc.gov.ng. Customer care@ekedp.com. Eko Electric. Ikeja, customer care@ikejaelectric.com. Ibdec. I want to see everybody's receipt for their prepaid meter, the year they bought it, whether it was PHCN or Ibdec, doesn't matter. No one is supposed to have sold you a prepaid meter. I met a guy yesterday at a tertiary institution who said he's so much in trouble that he has paid 100K for 2 prepaid meters for his family in Oyo State, and they have still not given to them. If you have paid them and they haven't given you your meters, we want to know who you are. Contact me at Kemi Olunlayo on Instagram. DM me. Contact me on Twitter at HNN Africa. Contact me on Facebook inbox. Facebook.com/HNN Africa. I will open that today. Contact me by email, hnnafricanews@live.com. You have my contacts. Email, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those inboxes, I manage them myself. My staff is there too, but I'm going to be managing them. Your subject will be Ibdec, Eco Electric, Ikeja Electric. Make sure you have Ibdec on top, my electricity bill, my meter. I want to hear from everybody that's paid for a prepaid meter. I want to hear from everybody that's paid for one and haven't gotten it. It is your right. No one has to pay for a prepaid meter. Fashola has said, you must provide electricities or quit. Enough is enough. That's all for now. July 13th, 2018. Kemi Omololu Olunlayo. HNN Africa. Hip Hop Newsnet. On all social media at HNN Africa. Instagram at Kemi Olunlayo. And youtube.com/HNN Africa TV. Thank you for listening. It took 400 years to be enslaved in Israel. Or how should I say that? Israel was enslaved for 400 years. We, the loyal customers that have been paying you for the last 12 years, we have the bills. You don't reward people. Go to America where you don't pay your electricity bill, you don't get a driver's license. If your bill is not up to date, your driver's license is suspended. You see how they reward the ones that pay their bills? Here, you don't reward loyal people, you punish them. Israel was enslaved. I still read my Bible. For 400 years. It took one day for God to deal with Egypt. Every day for the owner. Every day for the thief. One day for the owner. Ọjọ́ gbogbo ń tolè. Ọjọ́ kan ní tolóhun. Ẹ máa ja olè lọ ní Ibadan Electric. Àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ fún yín. Àbúrò mi ti lọ sanwó náà. Ẹnìkan ló ń fẹ́ rí. A fẹ́ rí yín. I gave you an ultimatum of 7 days to give me a prepaid meter, and it's going to be free. Today, you have 4 days left, and it's the 13th. 4 days left, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Even if you give it to me. Ibdec told us not to tweet, not to go on social media. They begged us. Mrs. Olufolarin, remember you begged me? You came to my house, you barged into my house with no notice. You barged into my house with no notice. She came when I was having a shower with 3 people. They wanted to see the meter, to see if it's not functioning. They said it's all right. There's nothing wrong with the meter. The only thing wrong is Bisi Oyekunle, your meter reader. They don't send women. They just started doing that. They send men to read the meters. And what happens is they beat them up. But what's fair, gbogbo àwọn ọkùnrin meter reader patan e wan send obìnrin. Ẹ rò pé a lè lo obìnrin náà àbí? Ẹ rò pé a lè faṣọ mọ́ wọn lára ya ká video tape ká gbé sórí social media. Àwọn wà for violence because our law abiding. But kí Bisi Oyekunle máa sọ fún èmi pé òun ò ní permission láti wọnú compound mi. Ṣé nítorí pé kò rí mi nígbà tó máa ń ṣe meter? Ṣé nítorí pé àwọn tó wà ní ilé náà máa ń pè? Ó ní permission tó bá sì gbọ́n pa pitbull àbí rottweiler lọ Google ẹ̀. It's a dog that will shred you into pieces if you enter somebody's compound in America because you came to read the meter. Oh, lọ́wọ́ nǹkan tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí postman in America when the postman comes to deliver mail, when the dog attacks, he won't need permission. What nonsense if the word even exists. One day, lọ́lọ́run fi dájọ́ fún Egypt tí Israel free. Nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí nìyẹn because ẹ lè continue báyìí. Ẹ lè continue báyìí. I'm a deal pẹ̀lú yín mercilessly. And we're going to make a difference here for the people. You, the people, get your receipts out. If you've paid for a meter, we want to see it. If you haven't, you must not get a prepaid meter, with money. It's free. Minister Fashola, everybody. There's a video of them in our compound here. We got permission to videotape him. I have audio recordings of their people. Afe Bainsoro. Afe Nkokon. Because afe ni fairness. Awata loyal. Ewan shewa bieru. A slave wa. Eli continue. I'm Kemi Omololu lawyer. This video will be in 2 parts because I ran out of memory on a 64 gig phone with a 32 gig memory card. This is how crazy it is with the kind of work I'm doing, and I'm still not well. I'm on medical leave indefinitely and have to deal with this kind of tedious stuff. I'm a very intelligent woman. Don't mess with me. My IQ is close to 207. I'm just telling everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again. That's all for now. I'll update you.